As an intelligence professional, there are many field intelligence techniques you can deploy to gain enhanced insights about your competitive landscape. Tracking your competitors' private aircraft is what we would consider outside-the-box CI thinking to addressing major points of need and understanding who your competitors are pursuing, from M&A activity to strategic partnerships to key customers. Tracking private aircraft is another segment of Aurora's mini-series on field intelligence. We hope you find the following scenario to open you to some new ways of applying field intelligence in your organization. Here's the background. Our target company is a large publicly held corporation which poses a major competitive threat to our client. They've been very active in acquiring companies, bringing on new strategic partners, and securing large customer orders. According to current and former employees, the company's senior executives reportedly play a very active role in holding high-level discussions with these entities, and they value face-to-face meetings. Our key objective is to analyze which potential acquisition candidates, strategic partners, and major customers the target company might be actively speaking with or pursuing. The following slides break this problem down into the project approach, process, and analytical steps required to gain the insight you need. Let's first look at project approach. The research approach to this problem generally should begin with traditional methods of secondary research, and then use primary research via interviews with former employees, industry analysts or journalists, and current employees of the organization as supporting intelligence for the necessary analytical steps. Secondary research under our scenarios found that the target company owns and operates a corporate jet. This information can normally be found in a company's 10-K. Our process is supported through further discussions we've had with company sources who have commented that executives prefer to use the corporate jet when visiting current and potential major customers, partners, and M&A candidates. By tracking where this corporate jet has recently flown and identifying major industry-related companies within a radius of each airport, assumptions can be drawn as to which companies the executives might be visiting or pursuing. In terms of the intelligence process, let's first understand that all aircraft are registered with the Federal Aviation Administration, or FAA, and our intelligence process starts first by discovering the tail number of the aircraft itself, often referred to as the aircraft's N number because it typically does start with an N. To find the N number of the target company's aircraft, we could follow we could use the following steps. All aircraft are registered with the Federal Aviation Administration, or FAA, and our intelligence process continues with first discovering the tail number of the said aircraft, often referred to as the aircraft's N number, because it typically starts with an N. We'll use the following steps to find the N number of the target company's aircraft. First, go to the FAA Aircraft Registry database, as shown on the screen. Search the database by corporate name to see if the target company is registered or not. If no listing is found, it generally means that the target company has most likely registered the aircraft under another corporate division, or even what I'll refer to as a front company, requiring further investigation. At that point, we need to determine where the aircraft is located in terms of state and county in which it's parked. In many cases, it will be in the same state or county as their corporate headquarters. However, in large metropolitan areas such as New York, many New York City companies will park their jets across the river in New Jersey. To determine the location of the jet, you might need to follow the following steps. To determine the location of the jet, you may need to follow the following steps. Ask former or current employees of the target company. Engage them in primary research by calling corporate headquarters, speaking with the receptionist or other members of the organization, or even asking for the number or location of the aviation department directly. Ethical primary research-based elicitation can be used to find the location and the N number by talking to people within the appropriate departments of the company. There are also many enthusiasts who track corporate aircraft, and you can search these aircraft enthusiast discussion forums, such as 30,000feet.com. Once the aircraft's location is determined, use the FAA database to print out a list of all aircraft registered in that county, which could be a long list of several hundred aircraft. This list will contain N numbers, registry names, and addresses. Next, examine the list of registry names to see if any name matches that of the corporation, a known corporate division, or even a senior executive of the company. Examine all the addresses to see if an address matches a known address of your target organization. In some cases, as I mentioned earlier, a front company will be used, or even the aviation division itself will use the same street address as the target company itself, and you'll be able to connect some dots to understand where that aircraft is registered. Once the N number is known, we can proceed to the analysis piece of our process. Next, you'll select a flight tracking service, such as FlightAware.com or FBOWeb.com, and order a flight history report for that aircraft. Now, flight history reports do cost some money and can be up to several $100s. This flight history report will give you a list of the dates and airports flown to by the aircraft within your requested time frame. Of note, some CI-savvy and security-minded corporations will put a block on their N number with the FAA, which prevents tracking of their flights. Don't be too surprised if you encounter this issue, or if your organization has a private aircraft. Blocking its N number may be a great recommendation you could have for the company. Next, determine which industry-related corporations are located within a radius of each airport. For smaller airports, this is an easy task. For airports in large metropolitan areas, this will certainly be more challenging. Determining corporations within a specified radius can be done by using business mapping software or various internet sites, such as Google Maps or yellowpages.com. Once you have the master list of businesses within your selected airport radius, identify companies that might fit within the target company's ideals for strategic partners, customers, or M&A candidates. Finally, you should consider establishing an ongoing monitoring program around the company's jet and set up early warning tripwires to indicate potential activity. Monitoring the flights of the corporate jet is a great way to obtain early warning as to what your competitors are doing strategically and tactically in your marketplace. Having said all of this, instead of owning their own jets, a growing trend is for corporations to purchase fractional aircraft ownership through companies such as NetJets. Tracking executive utilization of fractionally owned jets is a highly challenging and often very expensive process because it normally requires the use of licensed private investigators to run static surveillance at the airport and active surveillance on the executives. In conclusion, I thank you for joining this short podcast regarding field intelligence and the ability of tracking private aircraft. I would invite you to contact us if you have any questions regarding this process or procedure, and you can reach us directly through our 800 number at 800-924-4249. Thank you.